Oh, yeah. Unmute now, guys.
Play ball and batter up, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to yet another episode, the 5th episode of the Dugout Crew podcast. I am your host, Eric Lima, and joined by 2/3 of the J3 crew, ladies and gentlemen. And to my immediate right is one of my good buddies on YouTube for a long time and representing the Mets, who are sitting at 13-11 right now. Mr. Jason DeCanio wearing the Roll Blues. What's going on, Jason?
I'm doing fantastic, Eric. And another great week has come to the end, and we're off on an off day today. So we've got some fantastic Mets reports to tell you about and the upcoming series against the Cardinals this weekend.
And returning to us, clean shaven, the gorilla monsoon of baseball. Clean shaven with a smile on his face, even though the A's are doing a lot better than they did last year, sitting at 99-16, representing those Oakland Athletics. I'm talking about Mr. Joey Acasey. Yeah, Joey, what's the good word, Joey?
Yes, they're 7 games under 500, a season low, but there's no 20 in that. I'm pointing at it right now, right? There we go.
You're pointing at it.
There's no 20 in that loss column.
No,
there's no 20. There's no 5 wins at this time last year. Yeah. There's no Mets with the 18 walking the ballpark and coming in and talking about the Boston and talking about the Panucci's and talking about the pizza and talking about Jerry Remy and all those guys.
Here comes the pizza.
Here comes the pizza. Here comes the pizza.
Yeah. If that was me getting the pizza thrown at me, I would have gone, ah.
Yeah, like, hey, I would say, thank you for the free pizza, buddy. There you go.
And if it's Boston, I don't know if Boston does the whole deep dish thing, but I know the one thing for sure. If you haven't had deep dish pizza, you haven't had a decent pie.
No. Chicago does deep dish, and Detroit is Little Caesars. That's where the headquarters is. So Detroit is actually.
I've had Little Caesars. It's not great. It is not great.
If you like it really burnt, crispy.
I know. It's just like my enchilada over there. It's got a bunch of cheese on it, not enough sauce.
Sauce first. Well, while that's going on right now, I'm currently watching the Red Sox Cleveland matinee. They're down by 2, top of the 6th. Jarren Duran at the plate with a runner on at third. So they're trying to come back here because Cleveland's been a tough ball club. They gave up a grand slam to Jose Ramirez. That's a tough. He's a tough hitter.
Indians.
So the former Indians. So let's get to the news that passed on to me by our executive producer, Mr. David St. Dennis, aka David 3000, who always reminds us of a public service announcement that Yankees suck. But I digress. So. That's David for you.
Yeah.
The Braves, Max Fried. Max Fried. You fry somebody, you fry your son.
I mean, that's what happens. That's what happens when he gives up a bunch of runs. He was fried today.
Okra, fried calamari, fried zucchini, fried pickles. You name it, man. Anything.
What's Hannibal Lecter's way to have a major league player? Max Fried. Okay. A little joke there. That's what happens when you get a little joke there.
You
should tell us Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So That's a good one. So, anyway, speaking of which, Max Fried of the Braves threw a complete game shutout. Congratulations to him. And Angels, Mike Trout, and Angles. What is it? Kurt now the Red Sox are within a run. Very good, Jaron Duran. Thank you.
Yeah.
Angles. David's going to learn how to spell Angles. Kurt Angle running the team now, or something like that.
Who knows, man?
It'll be Kurt Angle slamming umpires. You probably get suspended for life for that. Anyways, Mike Trout, first player this season to reach 10 homers. Congratulations to him. And Shohei Ohtani. Once again, Shohei Ohtani decided to keep on going. He has the most home runs by a Japanese player in the major leagues, passing former Yankee player Hideki Matsui. So congratulations to Shohei Ohtani. Did it very fast, too. Another Japanese player making big waves. The Cubs, Shota Imanaga, we're probably going to see him over the weekend. No earned runs in the first 18 innings. Very impressive. Oh, it's only 1 out. I thought it was 2 outs.
I was going to say, Paul Blackburn had a streak to start the season of 23 1/3, but we'll give him. I give him credit. I give him Imanaga credit. He's coming over here from the NPB, and he's taking these MLB hitters to school.
The Red Sox will might have to face him over the weekend because I think the Cubs are coming to town, Fenway, and you know how Fenway's been tough for the Red Sox, which is very
the road records are actually doing a lot better. I've noticed, if you look at the standings for almost everybody, the road record is really a lot better than their home record. So that shows you something. Maybe the pressure is not really on them, but then again, it's pissing all of their hometown fans off because, hey, we came to see you, and now you can't win games in your own home field. What the heck, man?
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, and they're probably blaming the front office. All right, the injuries. The injuries. The Mets have placed Francisco Alvarez on the 15-day IL with a left thumb sprain and will need surgery. Oh.
Pew. Oh, God. Yeah. I'll have a report about that one in a little bit. Yeah.
And my Red Sox lost Tristan Casas, placed on the 10-day IL with a left rib strain. Hopefully he'll be back. I mean, that's a big bat in the lineup that we lost because Casas was been hitting the ball and then all of a sudden run to a buzzsaw with that. Astros Christian Javier was placed on the IL with neck discomfort. And the Giants Blake Snell placed on the 15-day IL with a left abductor strain. That's going to hurt the Giants a little bit.
Ooh.
And once again, the Red Sox, I think we should call ourselves the Boston Mash unit in this case, at this rate, because players been injured left and right. Brian Bale going on the IL with right lat tightness. And the Cubs, I'm not going to see Cody Bellinger going on the IL with a fractured rib. So, transactions call up injuries. Rangers pitcher Jack Leiter, who's son of Al Leiter, back to AAA after one start. Why? Well, they signed pitcher Johnny Cueto. So that's a big deal for them. And the Orioles recall Heston Kierstad from AAA. So I think that's probably one of their top prospects in there. In other news, Aroldis Chapman has been suspended 2 games for his altercation with an umpire Monday night at Citi Field. And Max Scherzer set to make rehab assignment yesterday. Okay. So I think he's playing for the Rangers now, I think.
Yeah, the Mets are still paying him $38 million a year.
Yeah, and there's rumors that we might buy him Verlander back. We might get him back because of the fact that even though the Astros right now cannot afford the doofus, basically if we take him off the Astros' hands, we wind up still paying about $41 million of his contract, but we get back Verlander because he's not doing so well out there in Houston, considering the bottom feeders right now.
And Aaron Boone ejected because of a fan. We talked about that before the show started.
That stupid moron. Come on. You're going to let a fan intimidate you? Terrible.
Hunter Wendelstedt, a little oversensitive. What's going on here? Is it? What's going on here? I don't know what they're. Well, the Chicago White Sox have made history. They're the first team in Major League history to be shut out 8 times in their first 22 games.
That's why they're 3-22.
Because they
oh
suck.
my God, they're worse than the A's were last year.
Yeah, you got really.
Listen, you should be relieved that the A's are 90.
Hey, I'm not. Hey, no.
Don't cut them out. No. Hey, look, the A's are only 4 games out of first place. That's saying
and that's the scary part is they're 9-16 and they're 4 games back of first.
That tells you that the AL West right now is so open. Not even Texas at 13-12 is safe.
Yeah.
Imagine saying that last year.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
right?
they're explaining whether or not they picked off Jaron Duran. They may have gotten them. I'm not so sure. If they can't decide, they're going to let them stay on. And finally, the Astros fall 10 games under 500 for the first time since 2016.
Make it 11 games because now they're 7-18.
Oh boy! So
no, they just they're playing right now against the Cubs. Who? Funny you should say Verlander. Verlander's pitching against the Cubs right now.
Yeah, well, if he doesn't do anything hotsy-totsy, they may trade him back to the Mets.
He's 41 years old. He's an old man now.
He's only 5 years younger than me, buddy. And
I know, but there's a difference. He's got mileage on that right arm.
I know. And he's also got mileage on his left arm, too, but still. With the right hand, wave again with the left hand, say, thank you. That's it.
Are you sure that's not his wife, Katie?
Because when he was in New York, he used to probably flip off the drivers on the Van Wyck Expressway, possibly,
I would not be surprised.
Wouldn't be surprised either. It says, can I do your windshield for $5?
Oh boy. Anyways.
So there was actually news that I just saw. The oldest living baseball player currently just turned 100.
Oh,
really?
Yeah, his name was Artie Shalek.
Artie Shalek. Huh.
Only had a 5-year career, but he's 100 this year. He's 100.
Eric,
100, huh?
Artie
Shalek? No, I just read it on MLB.com.
Oh, okay.
Artie Shalek. I never heard of the man before.
Yeah.
Years old.
Art Shalek. 100 years old. He's turning 100.
For the Yankees?
Played for the Yankees and the Orioles in the 1950s. He was born. Today's his birthday.
He was born
Happy 100th birthday, Art.
He was born in 1924.
Happy 100th birthday, Artie Shalek.
Yes,
I did Mr. Shalek. We should.
Yeah, 1924.
Yep. April 25th.
He was born in California, so he's born in Mill Valley, about 9 miles north of the Golden Gate Bridge.
Stay on first, Jaron. What are you doing, man?
And he's 13 years younger than the Golden Gate Bridge. How about that?
Wow.
I didn't know than the Golden Gate Bridge.
That old,
Oh, David 3000 just commented that Rachel Robinson, Jackie Robinson's widow, is 101 years old. So happy birthday to Miss.
Yeah, I know. She's 101, and it's a shame because her husband only passed away at 53.
I know. That's the sad part.
Yeah.
So, and just to this day, we still honor Jackie Robinson. Everybody wearing number 3.
I think that's fantastic because I remember it. It's not her birthday. David just put that up there.
I know, but I had to show it.
Oh my goodness!
he gave poor Eric egg on his face. The poor man.
David, why you do this to me? Anyway.
But the thing I think about the most is you got these historical figures that are still around. Like, she's 101. She's still living on her husband's legacy and everything, and that's wonderful. And the fact that they said, and I remember watching the movie 42, and one of the lines resonates me that said, it was the guy who was playing Pee Wee Reese said, maybe one day they won't be able to tear us apart. We'll all wear 42.
Yeah.
And they've been doing that now for the last 17 years, and it's been incredible.
And the thing about it is that she came and visited. They had video footage of her visiting the Mets in the locker room, and Pete Alonso got to shake her hand, and everybody welcomed her into the locker room. It was kind of like a moment of like historic history for the Mets at this point.
Yeah, they showed her some respect, which is really super cool.
Jackie Robinson Day is on tax day, April 15th to be exact. Yeah. Isn't that amazing?
And the cool, every time I see the Red Sox players number 42, it reminds me of a gentleman that used to wear number 42 for Boston. Is the great Mo Vaughn, the hit dog.
Yes,
Mo Vaughn, man.
I can't believe that 42 is not retired though.
It is. It is.
Yeah, well, it's retired for Jackie Robinson, but did they should retire it for Mo Vaughn?
Yeah. They had because I think the Red Sox didn't need to retire it because because they were doing it in honor of Jackie Robinson. So
Mo Vaughn had such a violent swing too.
Yeah, he has the he's like Big Papi before Big Papi.
Yeah, he was because that's now a string because you don't have Mo Vaughn. You don't get David Ortiz, but again, Minnesota's full of a bunch. I don't want to say Minnesota's full of a bunch of idiots. The front office is a bunch of morons because you get rid of a guy, and then the Mariners got rid of him before too. 1992, he was known as David Arias.
Oh yeah, that's right. And I read
that. They had a home run derby. It was Ken Griffey Jr., Alex Rodriguez, and then you got this guy David Arias, who would later become David Ortiz. He's launching balls at 19 years old. He's hitting home runs. And David Ortiz is hitting home runs. Meanwhile, A-Rod and Griffey can't get the ball out of a single A field, which must have been embarrassing for them.
Yeah, and in the end, it was Ortiz that got the last laugh on the Yankees and the A-Rod. So
12 years later, imagine that. That's something you can't write in any history book.
And the man's in the Hall of Fame. That's the fun part about
it. Okay. Here, I got a question for you. So when they retire a number, no one on that team that plays for that team can wear that number ever again.
No.
The only players. So this happened in '97. It's been this way for 27 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Mariano Rivera was one of the last players. Him and Butch Husky both were two of the last players to ever be allowed to wear 42 because they were grandfathered in. And Mo is one of the players that's synonymous with that number now because he was grandfathered in on April 15th, 1997, which was the day they retired 42 across baseball. So it's been that way for 27 years. But imagine if Mariano Rivera was not grandfathered in. What number do you think he'd wear? 24 or something?
Well, who knows?
Honoring the Willie Mays. And there's talks now that I think Major League, I think Pittsburgh probably wants to do it and probably was asking the league to do it, to retire number 21 throughout the league.
Roberto Clemente, that's right. Because the bridge that's in the background of
PNC Park?
PNC Park. Because I almost called it Three Rivers Stadium, and I would have gotten a brick thrown at me.
That's the old place.
The old Three Rivers Stadium, and it's like Synergy Field, which was known as Riverfront all those years ago. But they call it when you're walking across that big yellow bridge, it's called the Roberto Clemente Bridge now. They named it after him.
Park,
and I think there's enough history with the point that it's been 52 years this year that it'll be 52 years on New Year's Eve that he unfortunately tragically passed away while trying to help get supplies to earthquake victims in Nicaragua.
Yeah.
Because that's what he was trying to do. And I forget who it was, but it was a Mets player. It's funny that I say that because a Mets player was it was his son. His dad was going to be on that flight, but he said, "No, stay home." And then he perishes in the crash. I forget which Mets player it was, but he remembers him every day now because his dad could have been on that flight, and then he could have never been a Major League Baseball player. It's just insane to think about.
The follow-up question to it is, okay, so we had Doc Gooden's number 16 retire. We have Keith Hernandez's number 17 is already retired. 31 is retired from Mike Piazza. We're going to have Darryl Strawberry, number 18. I mean, if we keep not retiring these numbers, no one on the Mets is going to be able to wear a number because it's 1-9.
It's funny that you say that because the Yankees don't have any single-digit numbers left.
Yeah, I know. How the heck is that? So a 10 would be the lowest number that they could basically
No, Rizzuto.
Oh, number 10 is retired too.
Because
Huh?
one Billy Martin.
They're on the money star. That's all I remember Phil Rizzuto from. He does his money.
7.5% is all you get nowadays in this mortgage-free loan that we get to you from the money store. If you've got bankruptcy, mortgage claim funds, annuities, anything else in the market, we will take care of that. The money store gives you that 7.5% interest-free for the first 90 days. Call the money store because you need money fast. 1-800-CASH-NOW. Wrong number. No, that's 877-CASH-NOW.
I think one of my favorite parts. Oh my God. But one of my favorite things that Rizzuto ever did, it was him and Bill White.
Yeah.
And he said, "Welcome to Yankees baseball. I'm Bill White." And then they both cracked up. And one of his favorite things that he ever said was, "Oh my God, it was a WW when he," and it's just like, "What's a WW?" And it's just like, "Wasn't watching."
Holy cow! That's all I can remember.
Yeah, holy cow!
And then they bring a cow on the field for him at Yankee Stadium, and it knocked him over.
Oh, right? Yeah. So, I mean, with all these numbers being retired, I mean, how the heck are we going to have any numbers left for a roster of 26 that literally?
Well, I've always learned because you guys also have Mets also have Seaver's number retired, which is
43. 41. Oh, I thought it was 43.
Yeah, no, 41.
41. We have 31 retired.
Did they retire Nolan Ryan's 34?
I think so. No, not the Mets though.
Did they do because I know Rusty Staub was a Met for a brief period of time too. Did they give him? Did they ever retire his number?
I don't know.
Wore number 9.
The numbers that I think are retired for the Mets, and when they did the ceremony for Doc Gooden, they showed off the numbers of the past ones that they had that have already been retired. Let me go back and
so I have it up here right now. I just looked at it. So let's see. This is from Newsday.
You want to share screen it?
Let me. That stupid thing. Ah! I'm not paying 25 cents for 6 months, you dirty. that would be the.
Oh, you can put that in the cash pot later on. We can belt on it a little bit, you know.
Okay. Jackpot.
So let's see. There's 14 for Gil Hodges.
Yeah.
And the most random one is Willie Mays. 24 got retired for the Mets.
Yeah.
Wow.
You have let's see. 14 for Hodges, 16 for Dwight Gooden, 17 for Keith Hernandez, 18 for Strawberry, 24 for Mays, 31 for Piazza, 36 for Jerry Koosman, 37 for Casey Stengel, and 41 for Tom Seaver. But it says that, and then you got Bob Murphy and Ralph Kiner
and
with the microphones.
Yeah.
Shea, 42 for Jackie Robinson, and then a 5 and an 8. But I don't know who the 5 and the 8 are.
8 would be Gary Carter.
Yeah,
Gary Carter.
5 would be
David Wright.
David Wright or Davey Johnson, because Davey Johnson had 5.
Right. Because he was the manager of this 86 Mets.
David Wright could be the next one to be retired because he had 20 years with them, with the Mets.
Because what the A's did, they did Raleigh Fingers and they did Dave Stewart for the same number.
Oh, Dave Stewart. Dave Stewart, man, I'll tell you what, he is the most intense pitcher ever. Every time the camera focuses on him staring at when the catcher gives a sign, he's got that stare down. I'm like,
it was like this.
Yeah. Well,
it was like this.
Look at that, Macho.
All the way down to here, and all you'd see is those eyes.
Yeah. I like the fact that you have the hat with all the red, white, and blue on it. You know.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh, Montreal Expos, man.
Well, I'm an A's fan. I like the Cubs for a brief period of time because I wanted them to win the World Series.
Now, here's the interesting question. Now, Francisco Lindor has number 12, but Ron Darling had number 12 for most of his career. What would happen if they retired Ron Darling's number? For Lindor's going to have
Lindor would have to change it unless Ron Darling gave his blessing. That's always how it
works. The only
works.
way that it can happen is if he gets permission from the original number holder.
Yes.
That way, I gotcha.
I don't think you guys know this, but Barry Bonds wore 24 when he played for Pittsburgh. When he came to the Giants in 93, his godfather is Willie Mays.
Willie Mays, so he got the blessing.
He had to get the blessing, but he didn't want to do that, so he took his dad's number, which was 25.
Right.
And that's what he wore the rest of his career because he didn't want to take it away from his godfather.
Gotcha. Good idea.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
That's entirely okay. But a retired number, because, Eric, you should remember this one. David Wells, 2005. The number three. David Wells in 2005 played for the Red Sox.
Yeah, after you didn't want to play for them.
Yeah.
After he didn't want to play for them, no.
See, this is a great topic.
I think he pitched for everybody except for Toronto.
No, I think he did play for Toronto. He pitched for Toronto. This is like early 80s.
This is
no. Oh no. Oh no.
What happened now?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Oh no.
Hello, Danny.
Lewis, as Stephen A. Smith's lookalike.
Hello, Danny.
Smith. Ladies and gentlemen, Stephen A. Smith, everybody. Stephen A. Smith.
So he pitched for he did pitch for Toronto. He started out in Toronto, won 2 rings there. No, 1 ring because he didn't pitch for them in 93. He went to Detroit, pitched for Cincinnati, Baltimore, New York, Toronto, again in 99 and 2000. Chicago, New York again. Padres in 04. He pitches for the Red Sox, but that's the biggest controversy is he wore the number 3, which was not, you don't touch the number 3 in Boston for a reason. But he was a massive Babe Ruth fan. So, because in 98, he wears the Yankees cap, the Babe Ruth cap, which is worth he bought for $35,000. He pitches 2 innings and wears it.
God. Now,
hey, Sweet Face McMahon. Hello there, Stephen A. Smith.
Hey, Vince, you're getting on this great show too.
Yes. Lower right, who refuses to come on, considering the fact that he is part of this dugout crew, has no business being an impersonator. For that matter.
That's right. That's right. You're slacking on the job, Mr. EP.
Ladies and gentlemen, the invasion has gone out of control. It's out of control, gentlemen.
It started last night and it continued over into today's show. And who knows what will happen tomorrow night on the play-by-play.
It makes sense to check out Rant and Rave tonight.
Oh, you guys, don't tell me you guys are going to invade Rant and Rave because...
No.
No. What I was trying to get towards was... hello, Danny. But what I was trying to get towards was... David Wells wore the number. He has a long history with Babe Ruth. He bought a hat for $35,000 that Babe Ruth once wore, and he wore it for 2 innings in 1998. And then the umpires just like, "Yes, Danny, go Cardinals for you."
Yeah.
But what happened was 2 innings in, the umpires just like, he can't wear that anymore. That's not part of the uniform, despite the fact that it's an old Yankees because it was an old Yankees cap. You want to know what happens after that? He blows up and gives up 7 runs, not wearing the hat anymore. And then in 2005, he goes to the Red Sox. He signs with Boston. What happens? He wears the number 3 from Boston. Babe Ruth wears number 3 in Boston.
Yep.
But the number hadn't been retired. But then all of a sudden, he starts pitching bad because, yes, they broke the curse of the Bambino, but
yeah,
Babe Ruth didn't like that very much. Now, did he? And no, evidently neither did the Red Sox fans, so that's what happened there. He ends up switching his number to 16 after that because he wore so many numbers during his career anyways. It didn't matter because he wore 33 in a number of places because he was the biggest Babe Ruth super fan. But then he finishes the year 15-7 for the Red Sox with an ERA. He has his worst year of his career as a starter. And then he doesn't wear the number 3 ever again. But no, that's why you don't piss off the Bambino. You don't do it.
Yeah.
But no, the only team he didn't pitch for from the AL East was Baltimore.
Baltimore, Tampa Bay.
He never pitched for Tampa Bay either. But there's been 2 players, both of whom have played for the Red Sox, who've played for all 5 teams in a division. Kelly Johnson and Steve Pearce, World Series hero Steve Pearce.
2018 World Series MVP. Always been
but Kelly Johnson almost did it for the other side of the NL East because he played for New York, he played for Atlanta, and I think he played for one other NL East team. But it's so difficult because you can't. These journeyman pitchers, they don't last. But i.e., look at Lee Smith. Lee Smith, for years, had 478 saves, and he pitched for the Expos for the longest time. So there was that.
And then the Cubs and the Red Sox.
Cubs, Red Sox, St. Louis, and all them. But there's nothing wrong with a journeyman pitcher. But in this league now, where everyone wants to sign these massive contracts, would you rather stay with your hometown team for all this money and watch them go through rebuild after rebuild after rebuild? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Get that face off the screen. And I don't mean Danny.
Better not.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we got to go through our team reports. So, Jason, what you got for us?
All right. This Mets report is sponsored by Lenny and Larry's Complete Cookie, 16 grams of protein, double chocolate. Taste one now, all plant-based. Really good stuff. The 13-11 Mets go into a series with the St. Louis Cardinals starting tomorrow night. J.D. Martinez is going to make his debut on the Mets lineup tomorrow night. And let's see, hopefully he's going to be batting behind Pete Alonso in the 5th spot. So hopefully he'll be producing some pretty good runs. But overall, we had a very good 3-3 on the road trip, I must say. We went, so we took the first 2 games from the Dodgers. I'm very happy to say about that. But then we got shut out on that 3rd game. Giants came in and belted us for 2 games, but we have a 1-game winning streak right now going into tomorrow night's St. Louis Cardinals game. Right now, like you said, Alvarez is on the disabled list. And hopefully he'll return as soon as possible. You got Tomas Nito.
It's actually the injured list.
Yeah, he's on the 60-day plus, which means he could be out a couple months for just a sore thumb, man. Just a thumb. Holy cow!
Anthony Rendon has joined the chat. Oh, I hurt my wrist.
Yeah.
No speak English today.
And the top prospects right now, Sterling Marte has the highest. He's the lead leaguer right now in the Mets at 290. Pete Alonso has 19 home runs and 7 home runs of that right now. 7 home runs, 19 runs. And Nimmo leads the team with 15 RBIs. And Sterling Marte has 6 stolen bases. So just because of that sort of thing, and pitching right now has Reed Garrett, our reliever. He's got 4 wins. Edwin Diaz has 4 saves. Luis Severino, 2.67 ERA, leads the team. In strikeouts, it's Sean Manaea with 27, and Luis Severino with a 1.26 WHIP, whatever that means.
Weighted hits, walks, hits, and innings pitched.
Okay. Whip, as they call it. Yeah.
Yep.
So right now, Lindor, he's just got his average over 200 finally. So he's starting to pick it up. Hopefully he'll be able to continue that against the Cardinals this weekend. And like I said, he was averaging about 152 going into this road trip, and he really stepped up for the team. So I'm very happy. My player of the week is definitely Francisco Lindor. Alonso was slipping a little bit, but you know what? Alonso's going to have his days. But Tyrone Taylor right now, that man is doing some fantastic things on the field, on and off. He is just he's just amazing how he goes out there and can belt some hits and some home runs. And he's like my sub player of the week as well, too. So, Lindor, you got the player of the week from me, definitely. We'll see what happens there. Back to you, Lima.
All righty, and
Can I get something off my chest, quick, Eric? So this is about our rival. As for the Yankee fans, I heard a ridiculous thing the other day on the Michael K show, which I saw a clip on YouTube, when the Yankee fans were saying they should bench Aaron Judge for his slump. And I'm just like, he is your captain, your new captain. Yes, he has his foot hurt from last year, banging into the Watt Dodger Stadium. And there's a reason why he's not hitting right now. Not because maybe of the injury from last year, but his swing is completely different than 2 years ago. When I was watching MLB Tonight, and his swing has changed. And also, if Mickey Mantle with him being injured for all of those his prime years can be successful, then so can Aaron Judge with his that type of foot. That's all I have to say about that. Joy, do you agree with me on that one? And then I'll go to Eric.
He's played in center field his last 4 games, including 3 against the A's. So he's just let's see, 4 for his last 4, 8, 12, 15. He's 4 for his last 20 with a double and a home run, including yesterday. So, but in that time, he struck out 8 times. So he's doing what he's doing is people forget Aaron Judge is a 3 true outcome player. He walks, he gets hit, he hits home runs, or he strikes out. Yes, he hit 311 2 seasons ago, but he, in limited time last season, hit 37 home runs.
Yeah.
In 106 games. So I don't think there's anything wrong with his swing right now. Every hitter is allowed to slump.
Yeah.
Specifically if he's the captain. Because I'm not trying to give him a free pass here. But if Derek Jeter was in a slump like he used to get, he was allowed to get there because he was New York's captain. If Manny Ramirez was allowed to get a free pass anytime he dogged it on the field. That is just one of those things that you don't always excuse, but you have to make sure that, 1, you know what you're talking about, and 2, if you're going to bench your captain, it should come from him.
Yes.
Because, excuse me, the last time that a captain asked to bench themselves for the Yankees was when Lou Gehrig was slowly succumbing to his disease when he was slumping and everything. That was one thing. He took himself out of the lineup because he felt they would do better without him in the lineup. So again, it's entirely up to what the captain thinks that should go on. The captain talks to the manager. The media should shut up and leave it alone.
I agree.
Because we're just fans. We're allowed to spout whatever gobsmack or whatever you want. But as far as I'm concerned, Aaron Judge is just another player. I get it with the contract and everything. That's killing a lot of people. But still, look at Francisco Lindor. He's finally over this 206 average. Aaron Judge, he's barely hitting 191. I get he's leading the league in double plays right now. But the man's got 261 home runs. The guy's hit 50 home runs plus twice. He's hit 20 or more home runs 6 times. What more can you want from the guy? He's been healthy regardless, except for last season. In the 2 seasons he didn't have full healthy seasons, he was hurt. He still had 27 home runs, 39 home runs in a season he didn't play 150 games. And then last season where he had 37 home runs. 37 of his hits were homers, and you're still trying to give him garbage for not being... Oh, my God.
I mean, Yankee fans are spoiled, man. They got 27 rings. Come on. Cut the slack,
This is, and I'll be honest when I say this, this is why I hate Yankee fans. They're like Philadelphia fans. They're very temperamental, and they're very always just like, They're like Stephen A. Smith. They're the biggest "What have you done for me lately" people in the world.
That's true. Yep.
It's just like,
Yep.
Mr. Judge, what have you done for me lately?
Yeah.
Got him. Like,
Yeah, that's
I
basically
mean,
out
the
to get on
Red
my
Sox,
chest.
Red Sox fans aren't going around saying, "What have you done to me lately?" for their team. Yes, they haven't made the playoffs in a few seasons, but still, they're trying.
Mm-hmm.
Despite the
You can't
injuries.
do that.
All right.
That's all I have to say. Have a good rest of your show.
All right. Good.
Later.
All right, Joey. What about your A's? What are they up to?
Well, since I last came on, they've gone 1-5, but they faced tough teams like Cleveland and now the Yankees. They're going for a series split tonight, and unfortunately, things have gone from bad to worse because they just had to put Geloff on the DL this morning with an injury.
Mm.
But he hasn't been hitting either, unfortunately. He's been one of their worst hitters. I say that not with the utmost confidence, but the guy, he's their second guy they've had to put on the disabled list, injured list, whatever you want to call the stupid thing.
The DHL list.
Yeah, the DHL list. Wait to be shipped till later. But
yeah, right.
he's got the second most hits on the team with 18, but he also leads the team in strikeouts with 33. He's hitting 196. But the guy they're bringing back up was just 3 for 29 in 17 games. He only had 29 at bats. But ever since they brought up Tyler Nevin, who's Phil Nevin's kid, they were on a roll of sorts. But then all of a sudden, now they're stopping putting Ruiz back in the lineup, even though he's 7 for 20, 7 for 25 with 5 runs scored. Because I don't get it. I get Lawrence Butler's talented, but riddle me this, and I think Dave McCarty, rest his soul, he was part of the 20-year reunion for the team and everything. But it's just sad because would you rather have Dave McCarty play for Johnny Damon?
Speaking of Dave McCarty, God rest his soul. He recently
he passed away a couple of days ago. He was only 54, but hey, rather have had him at that 20-year reunion than Schilling.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But this whole thing going on with the A's, they're having players that are going to be back soon. Waldachuk's supposed to be coming back. He was part of the Yankees trade. J.P. Sears threw a near no-hitter in one of his last starts, but I have this to say about the Yankees series so far. I know the A's haven't been doing well, but every single game of that series has had a wide strike zone. Not Angel Hernandez double wide like the trailer.
Yeah, right.
Because
certainly he's going.
That's the number one thing that really irritates me. Is if Eric is the umpire and you're the catcher and you're catching a ball a foot off. Let me turn this back on. Yeah, if you're catching a ball, say, got my glove here.
Yep, you have a popular visual image.
I used to have a catcher's mask, but I ended up donating it to Goodwill.
Hey, there you go. You got the catcher's glove, though, right?
I don't have the catcher's glove. I had to donate that too. It was too small for my fat hand. But if I'm catching a pitch and it's coming in right about here, and Eric says
strike,
he calls that a strike. That's a strike. But where the umpires like Tom Payne and Wendelstead were calling the pitches the last couple of days is out here.
Holy cow, that's a big ass.
He's calling pitches that they were calling pitches that are 6 inches off the plate. So I'm willing to give Angel Hernandez a chance, not a pass, but a chance. Because if the pitch comes in and it's up here, that's a ball. Because it's always armpits to kneecaps. That's how it's been. Yeah. But if a pitch is like this, where it starts up here and it drops down to here, that's a strike.
A strike, yeah.
It's where it crosses. People don't know this, and I have the rule book. I just don't have it in my person.
Right? It's where the ball crosses the plane.
Where it crosses the plane. That's how it's always been. That's the way it's supposed to be. But the umpire doesn't always see it that way because they're sitting on one shoulder or the other.
Yeah.
So if someone's sitting like this on my right shoulder, this is me tapping my left, but you guys see it as my right.
Yeah.
But if it crosses the plane starting here and it goes here, they're going to call that a strike. But if it starts up here and it comes down here to where my stomach is, that's still going to be a strike. But there was a game where it was the Orioles and it was the Royals where I give Angel Hernandez no excuse because it was a fastball right down the middle.
And he called a ball.
He called it a ball.
Fucking ridiculous. How stupid can you be? And even why do you think even they have the square on the TV?
But people don't like the square for a number of reasons.
The strike zone is for that whole
I wish
reason.
this thing had a telestrator. I wish this thing that came with a telestrator so I could show you. Just because there's been, and thankfully I have X because I could show you these things. But I follow. But no, what I was saying was umpire scorecards.
You wanna share screen?
I'm going to do that right now.
Okay, I'll go ahead and
do that's camera.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, share screen.
Whoa. Sounds like the dog is being taken for a walk.
Yep. But this is like Bill Miller. This is showing you Bill Miller's strike zone and everything, what he missed, the overall accuracy.
Jesus Christ.
It's showing you like this. And then there's Dan Marzell, Laz Diaz, who's known for being callous with his strike zone. I don't think it has. No, that's Malinsky, Jonathan Parra, Nick Marley. But this is what I'm talking about.
Oh my God. So the actual ball accuracy. So if it's on the line, and my situation is that one right there on the right, on the top right. That would be a strike, wouldn't it be?
Yeah, it's anything that touches the strike zone.
Yeah, but only 1/4 of it's in the strike zone and 3/4 is on the outside of it. So he did catch the outside corner.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, while Joey stepped out for a few minutes, I will.
Well, that's just the thing. I'm not saying that's a bad thing or a good thing, but if Eric's an umpire and he knows the strike zone, he knows the rules, he'll know where the pitch is going to go. But Nick Marley being one of them, John Tumpain, I don't have Tumpain here, but he was bad too because that game was a 4-3 ball game for the A's in the game that Tumpain was calling balls and strikes. And it's just awful how these umpires, because I'm sure there's Red Sox ones in here too. Because I know notoriously the Red Sox don't always get calls either, which is stupid.
Hey, the Mets don't get the calls either, and you should have seen it. The play-by-plays I've seen a lot of.
But here's the one that I was talking about predominantly.
Oh my God!
Just so you guys can take a look, these are all Hunter Wendelsted's calls, and it was supposed to result in a third of a run more for the Yankees. But look at that. Look at the red spots. Overall average, 15 out of 47 were called strikes. They were not strikes. I'm just saying, Eric, you guys both wear glasses. You know where the ball is going to land.
Yeah.
How in the holy hell do you not see where the strike zone is going to be?
And you still won that game 2-0.
Yeah, that was the only game they won in this series.
Yeah. Well,
but that's all I have for right now. I just wanted to show you guys how egregious it's become with the strike zone, not just for the A's, but for everybody. That's why everybody's saying in AAA right now with the robot umps, the catcher's allowed to do this, tap something on his wrist, and then the umpire will have it on the scoreboard where he caught the ball, and it'll overturn it whether or not it was a ball or a strike.
Yep.
That's going to happen eventually in the major leagues because Angel Hernandez is the worst, and I hate to keep using him as an example, but it's going to get.
But he is because he's the talk of the town right now. But let's get to
let's get to Eric. So
go ahead, Mr. Lima.
All right, we've got 10 minutes left. As you know, the Red Sox right now are currently losing 6-4, bombing to Cleveland. A couple of mistakes by the Red Sox, and from the bottom of the seventh, really pushing another run. So the Red Sox going to have a tough time in the top of the ninth to try to push two or three runs across. Mm-hmm. So after that game's over, Red Sox come home. We got the Red Sox got the Cubbies for 3. The Giants will be coming in for 3 as well, and then the Red Sox jump back up. So we'll have a Monday off. After that, we got the Giants, and then the Red Sox go back on the road against Minnesota for a 3-game set, against the Braves for a 2-game set, against the Nationals for 3 games, and then actually come back home. Come back home. Have a day off. Then they get the Nationals, and then they got the Rays coming into town in May for a 4-game set, and then they go off on the road against the Cardinals. So far, 1 game. So probably a 3-game series there. I tell you, like I said, the Red Sox have become a humongous match unit, and it's been very, very tough for the Red Sox. And plus, I think losing Trevor Story has shaken up the Red Sox from a mental standpoint, and it shows in their defense as well. I think they were shaken up ever since then. But they're trying to get it together, which is really, really difficult. Like I said, the big controversy is Masataka Yoshida. He has not been playing in a while, and you signed him his big contract. Why is he not playing? You got Abreu who's been hitting hot. I know Alex Cora wants to get Rep Snyder in for some place, but you got to have Yoshida in that lineup because Yoshida, I understand he's struggling and you probably want to bench him a little bit, but with Rafi, they need Yoshida to step up though. That's the thing. Without Casas, without Rafi in the lineup, Rafi just came back today. Yoshida's gonna have to step up. He's gonna have to step. Alex Cora's gonna have to put him in the lineup because the reason why. That way you can push some runs across. I know he's not a mega power hitter. He can hit the ball. He can hit for average. He can hit for power. But you got, you paid the front office paid this guy $90 million. You got to put him in the lineup. And if you train him away, you're gonna have to eat that salary.
They love eating salary salads, man. Let's put it that way.
Red Sox need to do something while their players are trying to recuperate from their injuries, So they have to step it up. I'm sorry, but kind of irks me that they don't want to play Yoshida. He's like a $90 million dude, and you got to play him. I can understand if he's struggling and all, but
what's his position?
Right now he's a DH. He's an outfielder.
He's supposed to be. He's supposed to be an outfielder, but he's.
Because you got the outfield, Tyler O'Neill, who just came back, Rob Refsnyder, Jaron Duran, and Will Abreu and Rob Refsnyder. They have him as an opening day DH. So
it's because they're afraid Yoshida's going to cost them in the outfield. I imagine.
Yeah.
Man, you don't know it until you find out, man. Just put him in there and see what he's good for. If he's good for nothing, then take him out. Put him as a DH. But if you don't know unless you try, right? I mean, come on. Put him in for 1 game. See how many errors he don't make.
Yeah. That's what the Red Sox need to keep up on their defense.
Yeah.
And
you guys are at least, not in the cellar dweller right now. You guys are above the Rays, but like that AL East is just with Baltimore and the Yankees right now. It's
and Toronto.
The Rays are making me look like a real genius right now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And just it's really, really upsetting. Alex Cora's gonna really, I can understand. New York, Baltimore, and Toronto. They're the 3-horse race in the AL East. If you want the Red Sox to be the 4th horse in that race, they're gonna have to step up. So
yeah, definitely.
Plus, winning at home is very, very important too, and that's what I'm thinking too.
Well, HFA, home field advantage. If you can't win at home in front of your fans, What can you do?
Well, yeah, and your road record can always save you for so much, because then that's great if you're going on the road for 7 or 8 games at one time. But then again, your home fans are paying money to see you, and home attendance, and in some cases, home attendance has dropped considerably. Even the Mets right now, the home attendance is so bad. But look, I mean, the kids are still in school.
Yeah.
The regular season started so early. Normally start, second week of April. They started first week of right at the end of March, the end of the fourth week of March for the regular season. So we are having an extended spring like you wouldn't believe. The school kids don't even get out till June. So of course, school kids is what makes the attendance, because then parents. Of course, I do like that one kid who from the Giants. I missed my birthday to go see Francisco Lindor. He puts a freaking sign up there and says, "I skipped school today to see Francisco Lindor." Stupid idiot you are.
It's stupid kids and they're like skip school. Where were you? Yeah, I saw you last night at the
Giants game, and you got your butts handed to you 8-2. So now you're gonna tell your teacher you skipped school and see if you're still in school for the rest of the semester. Yeah, dunce. you
just cursed your team by skipping school.
Yeah. And it was his 10th birthday, though, the kid, man. It was like, it's on my 10th birthday, and I get to see Francisco Lindor, but I skipped school to do it, you stupid nut. Really?
Hey,
don't forget.
I bet you know what the parent might have some pull in the school. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of. Don't forget, tomorrow night, Athletics versus the Orioles will be the play-by-play on the David 3000 Network. Joey, you're more than welcome to join me for the assistant commentary for it if you want. Game time.
No, I'll be happy to, but the only problem is I wonder if it's going to curse the team.
No, I don't think so. I'm not. My Mets are playing on Apple TV, so I can't unfortunately comment the game because David doesn't have that. I'm sharing off of his MLB TV, so and I can't play you can't hear the sound anyways for copyright, so I have to kind of.
So that's the funny thing is I use iHeartRadio to listen to the radio of the game anyway, so I'd probably just have it in one ear and that way makes it easier.
But I like to see the game. I like to see the actual video of it because then I get to call it from that perspective. So, like I said, anybody who wants to join me on the table to the play-by-play tomorrow, 6:45 pregame, 7:05 is the first pitch.
I think that's Eastern.
Yes, that is Eastern. So in your case, Joey, it'll be 4:05 if you decided to join us.
Yeah.
So you'd be still in the daylight. I'll be like in semi-dark because daylight savings time is coming like early and early. It's like 3:58 right here. That means it's 12:58 by you.
I'll wake up around 5:15 in the morning just to get to work, and by the time I get out,
oh, that's really cool though.
What?
This person, they wrote a letter to Jerry Blevins because they were a big Mets fan.
Yeah,
and they said. And he ended up writing him a letter back saying, "Thanks for always rooting for me. Da 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 da. Your friend Jerry Blevins." He sent them a Jerry Blevins signed jersey for their birthday.
Wow,
that'll make their day.
Yeah,
money and some
Yeah, no, I couldn't believe it because here it is.
Oh wow, check it out. Look at that.
There it is, Jerry Blevins. Best.
I know it's incredible how nice some of these players are.
You don't know until you don't know until you write them because then you can't really write them off unless they're total idiots and twads.
No,
that's signed baseball from them, and that's when you really.
No, I got a signed baseball from my buddy from when I went last. So, and I made a promise to him was if he ever made the major leagues, I would get an autograph from him. And I'm not going to sell it. I'm not a dunce. I don't say, "Hey, I got a signed baseball." But it's funny because I got 2 baseballs signed by him that night. Yeah. And a young lady about 10 years old walked in front of me. And I told her I got a signed baseball. And I realized I had 2. So I gave her one. I gave her one signed by my buddy and by my friend who plays for the A's. And it made me feel better about myself knowing I'm not because
I know we got about 30 seconds, but real quick.
Yeah.
Zach Hampel,
That's
you are.
ball game. Red Sox lose to Cleveland. 6-4.
And the Guardians now have an 18-7 record, which means they have the best record in the AL and the AL altogether.
Yeah.
Making the Yankees.
And I'll say this right now. You can have the best record in baseball, but it's been years since the team with the best record in baseball has actually won the World Series.
True. Very true.
4, 3, 2,
and the game is over. The game is over, and so is this episode 5 of Dugout Group Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. I want to thank Jason DeCanio and Mr. Joey Acacia for being here. I want to thank our guests,
Stephen A. Smith.
Stephen A. Smith and
Rick Man, aka
yeah.
Dennis and Danny Lewis for coming in to bring a little comedy to the show. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in, all you baseball fans out there. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. Hope your team wins, and hopefully your life hits you a home run. All right, we will see you later. Have a great and wonderful day, and have some fun and play ball.
Yo.